unwind, relieve stress. Now, while some of you may be typing masturbation in the comments section, video games have always been my escape, though I'm sure a lot of you already knew that. It could be a comfortable breeze through some mushroom tops, bopping fat scientists on the noggin 8 times until golden brown, or annihilating every living thing in your pathway in your conquest of the battlefield.
And that's where Hyrule Warriors charges in. Announced late last year, this mixture of Nintendo's Zelda franchise and Omega Force's Dynasty Warriors series left me raising an eyebrow, and this was after Dynasty Warriors Gundam. I adored Dynasty Warriors growing up. Did you know that it started life as a fighting game that I'm assuming nobody played, hence the change in genre? The second game in the series where the franchise really took off was the first PlayStation 2 game I ever played and owned. Throughout high school, I would follow up with every sequel that saw release, and after Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends, I stepped away from the series. In Dynasty Warriors, you're essentially a one-man army ruthlessly taking out everyone in your path for the sake of conquering the land in the name of your kingdom. By combining normal and special attacks together alongside a super attack every once in a while, the opposing forces will know fear as you capture their bases, slaughter their soldiers, and steal their dim sum. That's how you play it out in your head. Outside the box, the series is a glorified and adrenaline-filled hack and slash that challenges you on how high you can rack up the KOs. There's always been a hint of tactical composition to it all, but you can get away with being a madman most of the time. It's wish fulfillment to everyone who's always wanted to be an unstoppable badass with his or her weapon of choice.
Hyrule Warriors is Dynasty Warriors with Zelda themes, from characters, stages, weapons, and story. I think it's a safe bet to say that every Dynasty Warriors fan that has a Nintendo Wii U already has Hyrule Warriors in their possession, and I hope they're enjoying it. But for those that are still unsure whether or not they want to spend $60 on this game, well, stick around. Hopefully I can make up your mind in one fashion or another.
As a Zelda fan, you have to ask yourself, do you like the idea of beating the shit out of things with your favorite Zelda characters from Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword? If you answered yes, then there will be something for you to enjoy here. Watching someone like Midna clobber an entire army with nothing but her hair and taking control of the Demon King Ganondorf himself to affirm dominance among countless other things is nothing but pure fan service. Hyrule Warriors is a celebration of the whole Zelda mythos. It aims to please longtime fans by cramming in as many references and continuity nods as it possibly can, while hopefully drawing in newcomers with its action-packed Dynasty Warriors setup. You have a few options available as soon as you start the game up, and the one you'll probably jump right into is Legend Mode, where the story of Hyrule Warriors unfolds. During a supposed time of peace, dark forces suddenly appeared to wreak havoc on Hyrule and thereafter the Triforce. Zelda, alongside her servant Impa, insists that they locate the hero of legend to ensure harmony, and they manage to find Link as soon as they step outside the room. This is a new record, right? I mean, that was very fucking fast. A series of battles occur, leading to the introduction of a new character for this game, Lana, a perky magic user who seemingly has a connection to the bad girl of this story, Sia, who has a real metaphorical hard-on for Link. You'll see right through this story if you ever played Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, and the game is not at all subtle with its surprises or twists. I won't say I didn't get a kick out of seeing a Zelda story play out with high-definition graphics thanks to the Wii U's output, but Nintendo still insists on not hiring voice actors or actresses for characters in a series that's heavy on dialogue, and I can't tell if this is just a sign of being hard-headed or paranoid. And the fact that there's a voice narrator for all of the in-between fluff also adds a layer of uncertainty to the mix. Look, the unholy Triforce of Zelda games was years ago. I don't think it hurts to try again nowadays. Just make sure Omega Force is not in charge of the voice direction for the next game.
Feel the power of my magic!
Recently, there was the Master Quest DLC pack that included a side story focusing on the new villainess Sia, and while it gives a different perspective on things, it doesn't do much to flesh out elements that the original story didn't already cover. We sure have come a long way since Nintendo's strict family friendliness of the early 90s, haven't we? They don't hold back with Sia here. I mean, my god, I can just see the look on parents' faces when they catch all the innuendos this girl makes when they're watching their kids play the game. Times sure have changed. You play Legend Mode for the story, but there are other things to do that Zelda fans should be accustomed with. Your warrior can scavenge the land to look for treasure like heart pieces and heart containers. When you fulfill certain conditions like destroying a certain amount of enemies, you can hunt for gold skulltulas to complete pictures piece by piece, and you can customize your characters by collecting materials from fallen enemies to enhance their defenses and offenses, if not their entire weapons. This holds true for Adventure Mode, where you travel grid by grid through the entire overworld of Zelda 1, taking on challenges with different win conditions and uncovering secrets on the overworld, all for the sake of collecting new weapons and abilities for select fighters and unlocking characters you couldn't unlock in Legend Mode. There's not much puzzle solving here, which doesn't surprise me given the formula, so if that, along with other Zelda conventions, were some of the drawing points for you in the franchise, you're going to be disappointed in that area. In short, you're investing even more time in doing what the Dynasty Warriors series offers best, and that is decimating everything in your path. No matter what mode you choose, you're doing the same thing most of the time, kill everything in sight while meeting the victory condition. So if you're not a Zelda fan or a Dynasty Warriors fan, I ask you, do you like sinking hours of your time cleaning out the fields of evil scum while upgrading your warrior so that you could do it more efficiently, despite that you're more than capable from the very get-go, assuming you're not playing on a higher difficulty? You are the only thing that matters on the field, unless you're playing with a friend on the gamepad. Your support, most of the time, is filled with some of the most indifferent assholes you have ever met, and they're constantly getting into trouble from the higher class mooks. You got a big ass bomb chew heading towards your base of operations, you are responsible for taking it out before it gets too close. And no, they don't care that you're on the opposite side of the field. Get your ass over there, because these guys sure as hell aren't gonna do it. When I said you were a one-man army, and that applies to both this and Dynasty Warriors, I didn't just mean that because of how effective you can be, but also because of how you'll be doing all the fucking work. On the flip side, the opposing army is just as indifferent, if not more so, than your team. The term strength in numbers means absolutely nothing to these guys. They never get the idea to dogpile you, even in the most difficult setting, where the only thing that seems to change is damage output and how much they can take, which is a fucking lot, by the way. Elite soldiers should be the only cause of concern, but only because they know how to use a damn weapon, which you can block and dodge rather easily and strike them when they're exposed. That doesn't make my encounters with Gibdos and Redeads any less painful. They serve nothing but to break the pace with their super armor, their stun attacks, they just suck. And as obvious as this sounds, don't fuck with the cuckoos in this game. The last thing you need is a 30-minute campaign coming to an abrupt end because of one chicken carelessly roaming into your 26-hit combo and ends up seeking revenge because of it. The Demon King should not be concerned with rampaging poultry. The boss encounters expectedly kick things up a notch with a returning King Dodongo, Goma, and I still can't believe they call it this, Manhandler, but they all have easily readable patterns and they can be exploited in classic Zelda fashion. Hyrule Warriors is exploding with things to collect and places to see, but to get all of that, you gotta do a lot of this. And this. And every once in a while, this. Do you like doing all that? Then congratulations, you just may enjoy Hyrule Warriors even at $60. Again, Dynasty Warrior fans already bought this, and Zelda fans probably jumped all over this for the chance to play as their favorite characters. Revisiting the Dynasty Warriors formula was fun for me, however, it didn't take me long to fully remember why I stopped playing the series after the fourth game over 10 years ago. It's a lot of the same thing. In this case, more of the same thing with Zelda plastered all over the place. Oh yeah, it is very satisfying to see my character blow the opposition away with a truly magnificent looking maneuver, or with a chain of attacks that manages to clear the way to victory. It's damn near therapeutic. Some of my favorites are Link with Epona, so I can stay on the move while dishing out the pain, and I love Impa combined with her Naginata. I was always a fan of weapon types that have excellent combo ability and finishers. The visuals are great on the eyes, exemplifying the realistic qualities of games like Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess without sacrificing a varied color palette and going all brown and murky because of that. Dynasty Warriors always delivered on the music. Seriously, go listen to the theme of Lubu to see what you're getting into. And Hyrule Warriors brings the good shit throughout the entire game. Special mention goes to Focal Line, the track that plays when things heat up in your favor. This game is what I classify as junk food. It tastes good and makes you feel good, but only on the short term, and I think it has a short shelf life to boot. I placed over 46 hours on this, half of that being from personal enjoyment and half of that being for this review, and I'm already sort of sick of it. Whenever Nintendo releases more DLC for this, I may just go back to see what else is new, but I'm not expecting that to add another 46 hours of game time. If you haven't tried a Dynasty Warriors game out yet and always wanted to, then I recommend Hyrule Warriors as your first go. It's flashy, it's over the top, it's repetitive, it's Dynasty Warriors. Those looking for a little more substance beyond the action won't find much else to look for, even more so for those looking for a Zelda experience rather than a Dynasty Warriors experience.
I tell you to wait for a price drop for this one, but knowing how Nintendo is with Zelda console titles, you may be waiting a while for that one, assuming you don't mind buying the game used or second hand. Anyway, guys, I'm back from my small break. Yeah, it's been a month long. But, we got a lot of things to cover between now and the end of the year. And a lot of it's Wii U focused, starting with the next game on the lineup, Bayonetta 2, which I cannot wait for. Hopefully it's good. But, after that we got Sonic Boom and then Smash Brothers. And I got some other things, non-related Nintendo things out in store for you guys. But, we got a lot of work to cover. So let's get started. I'll see you guys next time with Bayonetta 2. You guys have yourselves a good night. Thank you for watching, and take care.
you flew